actually really worse. And now there is this MCO called MedStar Family Choice, and Dr. McCarthy is actually part of that. And they've even, and I do realize that you're not working for MedStar otherwise, but they wrote a letter to me saying that you are their doctor. So they say our doctor, and so and we know they run the whole thing. MedStar runs the whole thing with the doctor, with the cardiologist, so forth. So it really makes no difference when I saw a cardiologist, when I saw a doctor. It's all being run by MedStar Family Choice, and I think for me, they give me a direct contact, which is like a point person, and that's the primary care, and that's Dr. McCarthy. So that's why when I have problems, I come to Dr. McCarthy. If I speak to someone on the phone, I get, with MedStar Family Choice, they have someone who worked in McDonald's last year who's answering the phone, so they don't even know how to pronounce these things. So obviously I come to Dr. McCarthy. So now the problem, because fundamentally so now the problems are getting worse. Now the heart problem is already established, so I think I can understand why I'm getting new symptoms with the heart. But then the head here has swollen up, and since I have the pictures going for months and months and months, so I can tell it wasn't like this before. So the head has swollen up, and we can easily see even the temples are coming up, and really I can tell from the back it's actually shifted forward a little bit. So it's either swollen or shifted forward, one or the other. But so it's not just an appearance thing. It looks bad. That's not how my head used to look, and the forehead sticks right out. It looks like you have two horns, depending on how you look at it, and how much light you have. But the problem is, along with that came the symptoms, which are when I tilt my head forward, I get very blurry vision and numbness. So which means it makes it very hard to drive, very hard to write. A lot of the simple things which I could do before makes it hard, and then I have to sleep in the middle. And what happens is I have to take, so after that goes on for 15 minutes, I get really drowsy, and then I sleep, I lie down, and I think it lasts 1 hour I sleep, and then I can wake up and do it again. But that's not a good system, doing something for 15 minutes and sleeping for an hour, because if you look at anything else, you have downtime. So if you look at even a normal person sleeping, taking a short nap in the day, it's okay, but not sleeping 1 hour off 15 minutes work, that doesn't make sense. So the things have not been getting treated. So I think I want to switch to a different MCO, away from MedStar Family Choice, because they're running it, and I know what's going on. The person involved, they have an extra feature. So it's not just like the standard. They have a thing called case management. So case management means they directly control the medical care. So that's the person who's involved in this, the case management. So I know they're directly doing the medical care. So that's okay with me now. So I want to get out and go to a different MCO. But for that to happen, and I'm not going to go and redo everything, since I've come to a lot of doctor's visits with Dr. McCarthy, with the specialists he sent me to, and also talking to these people on the phone, and a lot of money has been wasted also doing all this, and nothing is getting accomplished. So, but it doesn't mean we're going to throw everything out. And what I need to get is I need to get two things. One is, which are probably almost the same thing. One is a set of records which we can all agree on. So I need to discuss what kind of things need to come on the records, because I know the records, the things like when I give the patient...
Mr. Cross, right. Let's okay. Because one thing, I'm at work, I have other patients,
right,
emergencies.
Right.
You came here, you said you have the one about the MCO, that one is under my control.
Maybe I need to say something on that very quickly, Doctor.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, you made a point about Dr. McCarthy and MedStar Family Choice being the same. They are not the same.
Right, but they wrote a letter to me saying that he's their doctor.
Okay, let me clarify that. Each of these MCOs, we as primary care offices, we express interest that we would like to see their patients.
Okay.
On a contract, we have a contract with them.
Okay.
We don't work for them.
So you should clarify with them because they have said he's their doctor. But I know, but I think we are losing everything here because I'm trying to go somewhere else, which I have a right to do, and I'm not sure how much things can improve because it's still coming with the same system.
So that I just needed to clarify. On the issue of the MCO, as the patient, of course, you have a right, like you said, to decide on which MCO you want, and you also have a right to request for your entire medical record. So we can have that.
Right. But here's the issue: the medical records are not, and even this MCO agrees that they have a way for the patient to amend, to request an amendment for the records. And the records I have seen so far, I haven't gotten records for a while, but the records I have seen so far would say that I had no problem at first.
Talk to him, then we'll see the other patient.
Okay, so what you want, I can get the records for you, and you want to discuss, you would want to go through the records with the doctor, right?
Actually, I want to get it straightened out like right now because I need to get this problem taken care of. It's getting worse. So here's exactly what I need. So let me just say exactly what I need. The records, even it's now with the now I know the MCO, their rules are actually similar to what is just regular medical care. Okay, so they have two things. One is the records. The records is more of a technical document. It goes to the next doctor. But the MCO also says that I have a right to discuss my medical condition with the doctor, and I have a right to be free of any misconceptions about my medical condition. So I have a right. So that's what I want to do. I want to because so far he hasn't done it. I want to discuss the medical condition, and he can tell me now. The way it works is obviously the patient discusses the medical condition. The doctor will say if that is right or wrong, whatever. But then the doctor also has additional things the doctor does. So I'm not talking about the additional things the doctor does. I have an understanding about my medical condition, and with that right to be free of any misconceptions, I want to discuss that medical condition with Dr. McCarthy, and then he can tell me what's the misconception, because really what is not a misconception has to go in the records. If I tell Dr. McCarthy my right knee hurts, and Dr. McCarthy at least has to put on the records that I said my right knee hurts. But what's happening is Dr. McCarthy is not really not so, but then if you check, if there's so, and then I can kind of think and say, okay, my right knee hurts because I fell down somewhere. So it makes sense why my right knee would hurt, that I fell down somewhere. But none of this is showing up in my record. So I want to discuss so Dr. McCarthy does not have absolute control over the records. What I say should go in my records.
Yeah, at the time.
Does that make right? So
at the time of your visit, yes.
Right. So
when you made those visits,
So
whatever you said to the doctor, goes in the
So at this point, since I've had all these visits and my condition is really getting worse and worse, I want to get somebody else, at least some other group, even though it's in the same system and the same problem can still keep going on, but at least we can try with a different system where MedStar is not running the show.
So we're going to print you all the medical records, okay?
Okay, but here's the problem with printing the medical records.
For you.
Right, but I came to Dr. McCarthy, so I want to, but the medical records is really for the other doctor. See, I'm trying to solve my issue, which is I need about 5 or 10 minutes.
But you've been to Dr. McCarthy even before I came in for so many minutes before I came in.
Right.
So why did you? Because if you were...
No, I told him what my problem is now, right? What my
do you want to be seen by Dr. McCarthy today?
Yes.
You want to be seen by him?
I want to finish it off.
Okay.
So possibly this can be the last visit.
Okay. Good. Well, that's fine.
And finish it off for good, basically.
Okay.
But on the way to finishing off, it's not just me just walking out of here and taking somebody else. I need to get the records. That's one thing. But I also have to discuss my condition with him to be free of any misunderstanding. Because that
is why you're going to be seen by him now. So you tell him what is wrong with you now, and you have a discussion with him.
Right, exactly. So that's the discussion I want. And so then when I look at my records, if I say my right knee hurts and he doesn't put it into the records, but when we discussed it here, he's told me, okay, maybe you don't really have a right knee problem. Then I look at my records and say it's not a big deal, it's not in there.
No, but the record actually says at that point in time. So your condition in November of 2005 would definitely be different from your condition. It may not necessarily be the same.
Right.
Because the context will change because of time.
So
he's going to be seen. He wants to be seen today, which will be his last visit with you.
Okay.
Most likely, but that depends on if I can get all the items to get the proper continuity of care. But if I cannot get the continuity of care,
the point is that's the one.
Right.
And then he needs his medical records,
right,
which we will print normally because these are documents which it takes. Let's say give us like 3 days. We'll print everything for you.
Right. But here's the issue I raised with the records. When the records are printed, then I look in the records and I see all these problems and issues. Things are not seen in the records, and then this goes part with and you did agree that I have a right to discuss my condition and be with that rule.
Yeah,
be free of any misconduct.
Yeah, that's what you're saying now when you come to consult.